Good morning, everybody. How are you going? It's the second Monday of December, the 8th of December, which means it's time for the second cast on of December. Is anyone joining along with me? Let me know. Yeah. So last week I drew the reflection top, and you're probably keen to see how much I got done. I did do a fair bit of knitting in this last week. So the reflection top was by Yumiko Alexander, and it's basically just rectangles in stocking stitch. And she uses her own cotton yarn for that. I used Holst Noble, which is 95% wool, 5% cashmere. So I had 6 balls. I had 3 grey, so the dark charcoal, you can see I've used all of it completely. I've used nearly all of the medium grey, and I've still got the lightest grey. And then I had the purpley pinks. So it's using quite a bit of my stash, which I'm pleased about, although colour choices I was sort of a bit limited. I'll show you where I'm up to anyway. So this is back and front are exactly the same, but this is what I've called the front. So you can see I've got the front done, I've got the back done, and I'm on the first sleeve. So yeah, as I said last time, I hadn't used Holst before, but I had been told that it blooms. And you can see the difference here because I'll start with the panels. Front and back is made up of 2 panels, 3 panels, sorry. You start with this narrower panel, then you do the 2 colour sort of panel. They're seamed together down here. And then stitches are picked up on the bottom and the bottom band is knit down. And that's the same back and front. So when you knit the 2 panels, this panel and this panel, for each body piece, they're blocked before they're seamed. So on this side, this grey piece was blocked and this was blocked, then they were seamed together. Then I picked up along the bottom, which I also did in the grey, but it hasn't been blocked. So you can see the difference, I hope, between this bottom piece where it hasn't been blocked and the top where it has. And the top's just, the stitches have smoothed out, the yarn's plumped up and bloomed. Such a big difference. In hindsight, if I was knitting this again, I would not knit it in the panels. I would do intarsia for joining this to this. The other thought I've got is it's all stockinette, so the bottom edge is rolling. Now her sample is done in a cotton, and I think she was able to block that out so that it didn't roll, but being wool, I don't like my chances. I think it's still going to roll, but I'll see how that goes when I've finished. So as you can see, I'm up to the first sleeve. Reading the pattern, the sleeves, I've got to knit a certain length, and then there is a split at the cuff where it's not seamed together. So I'll see how that goes. The other thing I didn't really think about is that the front and back are the same, and it is a boat neck, which is not my favourite neckline. But I'm going to give it a good block again after it's all finished, and hopefully it won't be like strangling me. So I did manage to get a fair bit done. I think because it is just squares and stockinette, there's no shaping, so I could just knit and not worry about shaping. It was more counting rows. So yeah, so now this one gets put aside, and we'll spin to see what my next project will be. So yeah, with yarns, got that purple that I'm doing for that sleeve, which means looking at the rest of my yarns, I'm really limited to my second sleeve. The second sleeve is done in, this sleeve is done all in one colour. This is going by the pattern. The second sleeve is done up to the sleeve split in one colour, and then I think it's marled for the bottom half. So at the moment I'm looking at the pink and the grey, the light pink and the lighter grey together. We'll see how that goes, but that's where I'm up to on that one. So for now that gets put aside, and we'll get on to project number 2. So I'll just get my little spinny wheel up. Okay, I've taken the reflection top off, so there's no chance of it coming up, and we'll see what we get today. Fingers crossed, and hopefully I've got yarn for it. So that's the Hunslet. Hunslet, I can't remember what that is. I've got my Ravelry up on my laptop, so we will have a look and see what the Hunslet is. Okay. Oh, okay, I do have some yarn. I was going to say I don't have that yarn. The Hunslet is by Martin Story. I'll see if I can bring it up on here to show you. It's a Martin Story pattern, and it's originally knit in Rowan felted tweed, which I do have a bit of stash of Rowan felted tweed, which is in those two there, but I have lots of odd balls, so I wouldn't have enough to do it. But I do have some yarn that I picked up at when I went to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show a couple of years ago, and I got it in the back room at Bendigo Woolen Mills, and I've made a note on my queue that I would use it for this pattern, so that's good. It's Shepherd Perrindale 8-ply. Okay, here is Hunslet. So you can see it's a fair old cardigan. Yeah, I'm guessing it's pieced, another pieced one. So the colours I've got are a grey and like a reddish purple colour, maroon colour. So yeah, I'll probably do what the pattern is here, and the grey for the background and the reddish purple for the pattern. So it's going to be similar colours to what I used in my first project, Reflection, but that's my colour palette. So I'll grab, I don't know whether you can hear that car. I'll grab those yarns out of my stash, and I'll come back and show you, and just check that I actually do have enough to knit one in my size. Okay, I'll chat to you soon. Okay, I have got the yarn and the pattern. Excuse me. This is a pattern I didn't have to buy because it's in a copy of the Rowan magazine, number 76, which I had a copy of, and that's why you'll find a number of these patterns are in my queue. So chances were that one of them was going to come up. So that's the Hunslet by Martin Story. And the wool I have set aside for that was Shepherd Perrindale 8-ply. So they're the colours, which are fairly similar. Sort of similar to the original. So the grey will be my background, and this other colour, reddish sort of colour, will be my contrast. Now, felted tweed, I was having a look, is 175 meters per 50 grams. It's listed as a DK in the pattern, but it's really sort of like it ranges anywhere from fingering to DK, what, you know, the patterns you can use it in. It's on the finer side of a DK. And this Perrindale, so felted tweed is 175 meters. This is 95 meters. So it is a thicker yarn. It's 100% Perendale wool from New Zealand. It's not too bad, fairly soft. And I've got more than enough of this. I've got 15 balls of each colour. Like I said, I picked it up in the back room at Bendigo Woolen Mills, and I think I paid $5 a ball, which was why I grabbed so many. So what I've decided to do, because this is a heavier weight yarn, I'm going up a needle size. So instead of knitting the body on 3.75, I'm going to knit it on 4 millimeters, and I'm going down a size. I was going to knit the 4th size, but I'm now going to knit the 3rd size. So I don't even have to wind skeins into cakes. It's already in balls for me. I've got the needles, I've got the pattern, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to cast that on, and we'll see how far I get with this one in a week. I don't think I'll get as far as I did with the reflection because of the colour work, but yeah, we'll see. And I'm not sure if I'll be back again this week with an update. Probably not. I'm not sure how much I'll get done and what else I've really got on this week. But otherwise, I'll chat to you next Monday. Bye.